Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. Hello everyone, welcome to the Mandeep Kaur Tangra Show. I'm very happy today. I'm very glad that today I am completing my 100 episodes. बहुत ही सक्सेसफुली, बहुत ही प्यार से मैंने इस शो को रन किया है एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी कि आज हम अपने 100 एपिसोड्स पूरे कर रहे हैं एंड with one of a senior HR professional from the corporate world. So today we have with us Mr. Sukhjit Singh Pasricha एंड आज हम बात करेंगे HR वर्ल्ड की और सर की सक्सेसफुल जर्नी की. So sir, welcome to the show.
Mandeep, you can call me Sukhjit. Don't call me sir.
All right.
That is the first rule that we apply in the corporate world.
Okay.
And first of all, hearty congratulations for your 100th episode. I'm sure it must be, amazing experience meeting so many people and reaching out to so many people and making them, meet and greet with others also.
Right.
So I'm very, very humbled and honored that you invited me for this 100th episode and I'm happy to be part of this journey.
ਵਾਈ ਸੁਖਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਪਸਰੀਚਾ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਸਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਹਿੰਦੀ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਈ ਹੈਵ covered my show with so many personalities ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਤਿੰਨੋਂ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜਸ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ੋਜ਼ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਬਟ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਪਰਸਨੈਲਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਕਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਟ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੌਪ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ. ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਕਰੰਟਲੀ CHRO C ਲੈਵਲ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ. ਸੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਟੀਮ ਨੇ ਬੜੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀ, ਬੜੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਿ 100th ਐਪੀਸੋਡ 'ਚ ਕੌਣ ਆਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦੀ ਓਨਲੀ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਫਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੂਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ. So I have specially came to Delhi to shoot this episode because I wanted to shoot this episode with Sukhjit Singh Pasricha. So I'll call Mr. Pasricha. It is okay?
Sukhjit is also fine. Mr. is also fine. Okay. Whatever you're comfortable.
All right. So sir ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੈਕਗ੍ਰਾਉਂਡ ਆ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਆ. ਸੋ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਰਨ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ ਆ. ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ he is a national personality, he is an international personality, but ਫਿਰ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਜੜ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਓਗੇ. ਇੱਕਦਮ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਣਾ ਲੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਸਰ ਦੀ ਬੈਕਗ੍ਰਾਉਂਡ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆ. ਸੋ ਸਰ ਲਿਟਲ ਬਿਟ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਯੂਰ ਚਾਈਲਡਹੁੱਡ ਐਂਡ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਮੰਮੀ ਪਾਪਾ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਾ ਪਿੰਡ, ਬਸ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਲੈ ਦਿਓ ਪਲੀਜ਼.
No, I fondly remember my childhood and ਮੇਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੀ ਯਾਦਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀਆਂ. ਖਾਸਕਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਡੈਡ ਮੇਰੇ ਫਾਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹ ਤਰਨਤਾਰਨ ਦੇ ਨੇ ਐਂਡ ਵੈਰੀ ਨੀਅਰ ਟੂ your place, your village Tangra and where you have your corporate hub. And ਮੇਰੇ ਮਦਰ ਜਲੰਧਰ ਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਲੰਧਰ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ. तो मेरा बर्थ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਲੰਧਰ ਸਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਹੋਇਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਨਕਿਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਐਂਡ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਨਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਨੇ ਤਰਨਤਾਰਨ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਦਾਦਕੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਕੈਟਰਡ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਅਲੱਗ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ. But मेरा childhood, my dad he was working in ACC, Associated Cement Companies, and जगह बीतिया है. So when I was born in Jalandhar, my mother came for delivery to Jalandhar, but actually my dad was posted in Maharashtra at that time in ACC, one of the ACC factories. Right. And then I was moved there with the parents. Of course, I moved there after my birth, and then initial months was there. Then we moved to Rajasthan, Lakheri. ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ACC ਦਾ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ, ਉੱਥੇ 7 ਸਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਚਪਨ ਬੀਤਿਆ. ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਹਿਮਾਚਲ 'ਚ, ਫਿਰ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ 'ਚ, ਫਿਰ ਗੁਜਰਾਤ 'ਚ. ਸੋ ਨਾਰਮਲੀ ਆਰਮੀ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਬੜੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ACC ਤੋਂ. ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕਲਚਰਸ 'ਚ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ. ਬਟ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਰੀਅਲੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਮੀ. ਇਟ ਹੈਜ਼ ਹੈਲਪ ਮੀ ਵਿਦ lot of understanding about diverse languages, cultures, practices. कह लो on the festivals. मैं starting च गुजराती भी सीखी है स्कूल च. then of course पंजाबी तो मैं सीखी है अपने because मैं घर च मेरे mother father हमेशा ही मैनू पंजाबी ते बहुत ज़्यादा उन्होंने सिखाया. घर च बैठ के भी सिखाया, स्कूल च भी गुरुद्वारे च भी सिखाया. बट जगह मैं डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस सीखिया ने और उन्होंने बोली भी सीखी है. उन्होंने फेस्टिवल्स भी सारे मनाए हैं. उत्थे जगह जाके रिलीजियस प्लेसिस ते जाके कह लो मत्था भी टेकिया है, but I have enjoyed my participation in these diverse cultures in my childhood.
ਗ੍ਰੇਟ। ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਬੀਨ ਟੂ ਸੋ ਮੈਨੀ ਸਟੇਟਸ, ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੇ, ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜਿਸ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਦਾ, ਬੋਲਣ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਇਨ ਸੱਚ ਅ ਸਟੇਜ, ਇੰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦਾ, ਤੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੜੀ ਕਰੇਜੀਅਸ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਵੇਖਾਂਗੇ, ਦੱਸਾਂਗੇ?
ਨਹੀਂ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵੀ ਬੜੀ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਮੰਨਦਾ। ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਿ ਲੋਕੀ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਅਗਰੈਸਿਵ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਰੂਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਬਟ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਬੋਲਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਹਰ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਹੈਜ਼ ਟੂ ਸਾਈਡਸ ਆਫ ਇਟ, ਐਂਡ ਡਿਪੈਂਡਸ ਔਨ ਹਾਊ ਯੂ ਇੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਇਨ ਦੈਟ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ। ਬਟ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵੀ ਬੜੀ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਹੈ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਬੜੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਵਰਡਸ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਮੇਰੇ ਮਦਰ ਫਾਦਰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ।
ਜਿਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਸਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਆਲ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਹੈਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, more than 50,000 EMPLOYEES ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਲ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਹੈਗਾ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬ 'ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ, ਜਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ, ਆਪਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਤੇ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਬੜੀ ਦੇਣ ਆ, ਬੜੇ ਅੱਛੀਆਂ ਕੰਪਨੀਜ਼ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੈਡਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ CHRO, CEO, CMOs ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਸਰ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਲਿਆਤੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਯੂ ਟੂ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟ ਲਿਟਲ ਬਿਟ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਯੋਰ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਲਾਈਫ ਐਂਡ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਰਿਹਾ?
ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਲਾਈਫ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ACC ਦੇ ਕਾਲਜ 'ਚ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਲ ਸਕੂਲਸ, ਕੁਝ ਕਨਵੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲਸ, ਦੋਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਬਟ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਕੂਲ 'ਚ ਔਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਔਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੈਲਪ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੋਲਿਸਟਿਕ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਅਬਾਊਟ only studies like academics. Us time luckily we never used to have these devices, mobile phones or whatever. At that time TV ਵੀ ਘੱਟ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਇੰਨੇ ਚੈਨਲਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, so we used to spend a lot of time outdoors. I think that has really helped me in life, and I think that even helps me today because I am an outdoor person even today.
Right.
So whenever I get time, morning, evening or weekdays, weekends, etc., I prefer going little bit out instead of just spending time on the devices at home. थोड़ा जाके बाहर walk करो या run करो या खेल के आओ. I think that has been integral part of my studies. Of course, there has been a lot of focus on studies in terms of how you are faring vis-a-vis others, what is your rank, etc. वो तो चलो थोड़ा बहुत रिया ही है, but I think it's more about the other aspects also. So sports, physical activities भी काफ़ी school च काफ़ी focus रहा मेरा, and that has really helped me in life.
Great. First job ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਫਰਸਟ ਜੌਬ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਰਾਈਟ? ਸੋ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਅ HR ਪਰਸਨ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਫਰਸਟ ਜੌਬ ਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਫਰਸਟ ਜੌਬ ਉਹਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਥਰੂ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ 'ਚ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਹਾਊ ਵਾਜ਼ ਯੋਰ ਫਰਸਟ ਜੌਬਸ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ? ਫਰਸਟ ਜੌਬ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਵੀ ਆਰ ਆਲਵੇਜ਼ ਥੈਂਕਫੁਲ ਟੂ ਦੋਜ਼ ਕੰਪਨੀਜ਼ ਆਲਸੋ।
First job is always rememberable. You can't forget the kind of experiences and challenges you go through in a first job, And I was lucky enough in my batch amongst the first few to get placed. Though it was a small batch at that time, about 35 people, 35 of us in MBA. But I got placed very early in the batch, and I got placed in Vardhaman group of companies. That was my first job. Vardhaman is a known name in textiles, and I was placed in the corporate office in Ludhiana. And I was lucky enough again to get a training and development profile. There's a training center there of Vardhaman. I used to be part of not only training people, design, etc., but also looking after administration of that training center.
Right.
So oh manu jada administrative experience hai of that training center, that has taught me a lot. And my first boss, he always focused on small things to be taken care of in training center. I thought as a MBA, if I'm going and I will only be looking after design of the training, I'll be looking after how to deliver a training, etc. But I think that administration of training center from morning to evening, when people used to have a residential programs there, that has really helped me how to look after the kind of contractor that is serving food to the residents, how to look after the housekeeping there along with for the center, etc. Besides, of course, the other aspects of training. So even if though I used to spend only 30%, 25% on the administrative stuff, but I think that has really helped me throughout my life, because it has taught me that you have to look at again holistically about the job and not just one aspect of the job.
Great. ਸੋ ਅਕਸਰ ਹੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਰਸਟ ਜੌਬ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, somebody is going for the job for the first time, people consider the package a lot, right? Package ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਅੱਗੇ move ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ, right? Every fresher wants ਕਿ I need salary of minimum 30,000 40,000 and then only I'll join the job. So when you joined your first job, right, did you consider this, and what should be the approach of people? Sometimes I think the 6 months or 1 year experience you are about to get very earlier than your other classmates, so you miss that. ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਉਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੈਲਰੀ ਡਬਲ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਜੇ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਛਾ ਰੇਜ਼ ਵੀ ਮਿਲ ਜੇ, ਬਟ ਸਮ ਪੀਪਲ ਗੈਟ ਟੂ ਲੇਟ ਫॉर their first job. They always wait for the right job.
I think you have said hit the nail actually. This comes naturally because moment you get a job in, especially in our country, first thing everybody will ask is what is the package. There's a mental pressure on everybody to say that I've got this kind of package, Nobody asks as to what kind of role you're getting into, what kind of organization that you're getting into, who's going to be your manager, etc. So ये questions कोई पुछदा भी नहीं है, and ये क्वेश्चन सिर्फ उन्हें पता होता है ਜਿਹੜਾ जॉब ਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ है. So at least to the candidate or to the potential candidate जिन्हें जाके जॉब लेनी है, I would always say that pick up the right role in the beginning. Preference has to be given to the role that you're getting into. If there's a learning attached to that role, how much exposure is attached to that role, what kind of organization that you're getting into, especially what kind of people that you're going to work with. जिन्हें तो उसे सीखोगे. I think that is very important initially. Right. This career is a marathon. It is not a 100-meter race. So it is not about the first job only. It is about or first few months of the job that you're going to earn, and then you're going to, after 1 year you're not going to work. You're going to work for 30, 35, 40 years. So if you start it right, pick up a lot of things in the first role, and the right skills. Skills the बहुत value है. So if you pick up the right skills in the beginning, it will pay off in later days or later years.
ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੈ, some I have seen this कि even you start at a lower package and your peers are starting at the a bit higher package. After 5 years it is again the same. Somewhere people get stuck also. 5 ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ उन्ना ही package ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਇੰਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਫਰਕ ਪੈ ਜਾਏ. So लोग job छोड़ते हैं कि boss. So what is your experience?
No, that's right.
Means company छोड़ते हैं कि boss.
Actually there is a quite popular saying in HR we use, people don't leave organizations, people leave the managers. I think that's a very popular saying, and I think बिल्कुल ठीक है. I think even if they're working in the best of the organizations, best of salaries, but if the manager is not supportive enough, manager is not taking care of the individuals, people leave the job.
But so manager is again supporting the company.
Internally. So it's a company again. It's people like us in HR who have to help the managers deliver the right conduct to the team members, etc. Managers को भी train करना पड़ता है. HR people have to train the managers also. So I think a lot of focus in the good organizations is also to train the managers to give the right conduct to their team members, etc. and take care of them and be flexible with them. So I think this is very, very important ingredient for the organization to be given to managers, so that the larger teams are happy and engaged. So we say that if you actually make the managers right in terms of their inputs, etc., training, etc., and the values and conduct, etc., then of course they can take care of the larger population working under them, and the people will be happy and engaged. So manager play a very, very important role in the organization.
Right. You have traveled so much, you must have tried so many things, but still, what is your favorite Punjabi food?
Not only Punjabi food, but across all the foods that I like, I like the Amritsari kulchas the best.
Okay.
You can treat me every day that for the breakfast, and whenever I land in Amritsar, authentic kulchas, I go to the right places and first I go there and have it. Of course, the two things in Amritsar which I can't miss, one is of course the Darbar Sahib Golden Temple, and second the kulchas.
For that you can fly down to Amritsar.
I do normally do it quite often, and I don't remember a trip to Amritsar where I didn't have a kulchas.
You must have worked with a lot of brands, or I have read your profile, such good brands. So little bit about your the brands you have worked with previously.
So I've worked with different industries actually. So as I said in the beginning, I started my career with textiles, Vardhaman group of companies, and again a very pioneer in textiles. So Vardhaman taught me a lot. उसके बाद मैं telecom was starting in India when I joined. So at that time, telecom was about to launch. So I worked in telecom companies like Spice Communications for 6 years, then Airtel for 9 years. And then Airtel also gave me an opportunity to work abroad. Even Airtel bought a few countries in Africa. So I went there for 3 years on assignment, and that again was a very good exposure for me. So about 14 years I spent in telecom, besides working initially for a few months or years in textiles. And then I also worked for aviation. So I was there for as a head of HR for Indigo Airlines, and that I worked for about 5 years, and then I moved to BFSI. Now I'm working in a banking sector. But yeah, every time you transition industry, it's not easy because you have to learn the basics of the industry. But I've been fortunate enough to I would say learn and contribute to different industries. So telecom, textiles, aviation, BFSI now. So I think every industry has its own nuisances and challenges. So I think I definitely learned a lot. Maybe.
So you always take a challenge to be in another industry because again you have to learn the
No,
whole
it's
domain.
difficult actually transitioning to a new industry. Every time you have a lot of challenges.
That shows the demand. आपकी जो demand है वो है मतलब ये चीज ये show
No,
करती
I've been
है.
lucky enough. I think God has been kind. I've been lucky enough to get opportunities to work in different.
Right. You have traveled a lot. So countries you have been to, like how many countries, if you remember, or what were your experience during your travel? But मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि बहुत बार आपको feel हुआ होगा कि airport पे मैं अकेला ही सरदार हूँ. I know you are a neutral personality. I know it, but still,
that has never been
आपको देख के
challenging.
ऐसे लगता है कि हाँ ये वाली feeling भी तो होगी, right? So, I want to listen more about your travel experiences.
Yeah. I think I have been very very lucky in terms of both traveling personally for holidaying and also organization giving me opportunities to move across different geographies, different parts of the world. So I've been to Australia, I've been to Asia, East Asia, etc. many times. Singapore, Thailand, etc., etc. So many times I think I've been to Singapore also for work and for holidaying. Similarly, I've traveled many countries in Africa because I've stayed in Africa. So I've been lucky enough to even holiday in Seychelles, in South Africa, in Egypt. So those kind of countries which normally Indians don't choose as an option to go. They normally go to Europe or US or Southeast Asia. And then of course I've traveled to many countries in Europe and US also multiple times. So continent that probably I've not been to is Latin America as of now. But I wish that I can travel to that place also sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, I think every time I travel, I learn a lot. And as you rightly mentioned that, yeah, there have been people who've sometimes asked me very funny questions about why you're wearing a turban, etc. Why you?
They must be clicking photos also with you.
Yeah, and I had a great opportunity to even tell them about that I'm a Sikh and what is Sikhism about, etc. So I think they've quite keenly heard me and learned about Sikh and Sikhism, etc. So yeah, but I think it's a great opportunity to interact with multiple
Right.
country people and learn a lot from them actually.
Right. You are a Sikh. You are working with the Muslim. You're working with Hindus and all religion and people from across the states. You are bringing people from Lucknow to Tamil Nadu to Punjab. All these changes you are doing because you are handling a complete country and especially India. It is a challenge because यहाँ पे यूपी वालों को ही लगता है कि तमिलनाडु वाला different है. Right? Because so much of diversity. So how diversity is contributing to your growth and how you people sync up so well to bring the organizations to such a great level कि इतनी diversity के साथ कैसे manage करके and again you're bringing great figures.
I always say that traveling and working in other parts of the country or world actually teaches you a lot. It opens up your mind. There's a mindset issue if you don't travel or don't work with diverse people. So as I said, I've been very very lucky during the childhood that I've stayed in different states of the India. So it's opened up my mind completely, different kind of people across India. So I think when you start working with more and more diverse people, your mind opens up, and I think that's very very important.
Right.
That makes you more, I would say, successful, because you become quite flexible about what you do and how, what kind of approach you bring to the organization.
So, what are your success mantras professionally? Right.
Yeah.
So, when we look upon you, when we meet people like you who are heading the whole country, and we want you to see globally. So, प्रोफेशनली आई वांट यू टू शेयर कि प्रोफेशनल मंत्रास क्या है जो आज बंदे लुधियाना में बैठे हैं, जैसे आप लुधियाना में थे, जो जलंधर में बैठे हैं, जो अमृतसर में बैठे हैं, या who are in small cities of India, and after 20 years if they want to be at sea level of some company, right? So what were your mantras professionally?
So I will talk about two things here. One, I think when we talk about culture, when we talk about our personalities, I think one underlying statement that I have is that you are what you do every day. I think that's very, very important. For example, it's not that once in a month I go for a run or a walk or some physical activity and I'm saying that I'm working on my health, I'm working on my fitness. If you go every day, or let's say at least 5 or 6 days in a week, then probably you are working towards a health goal. So it's a similar, I think, mantra for. So you are what you do every day. If you want to be a learner, you have to learn every day. If you want to be keeping yourself fit, then you have to do it every day. If you want to, keep your mind fresh or your mental health, etc., you have to meditate or do some spiritual, this thing every day. So I think it's very very important that we put these things in our routine. So I'll just give you
Consistency you are talking
consistency
about.
is very
Be
important.
consistent.
Yeah, and I'll talk about one thing here that I was talking to some school people, and they were showing us as to this is the results that we have, fantastic results, etc. About 90% of the class has X percentage and above distinction, etc. I said, can you talk about the other aspects of how the kids are faring in other aspects, not only just academics? And they were surprised because they said no, but we're quite focused on studies and the percentage and marks. I said, are you holistically developing a child? And I always believe that the child has to be developed in holistically by focusing on four things. One is, of course, studies. Marks are very important, no doubt about that. They have to be competitive. But second, I think most important thing is the child spending enough time on physical activity? If the child is only studious and child has not even worked on fitness and physical fitness, then probably there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So I think this is also very important. So has school given them time and enough importance that the child does it every day?
Right.
Third, does the child have another passion or a hobby besides
Right.
studies?
Right.
So is the child also into arts or into something else which is music or something which is like does almost once in a week or once in a daily, etc. Spend some time on that. Has the child been able to develop some other passion? That's very important. And the fourth one is the child aware of that mental health is also important.
Right.
So I think some sort of meditation, some sort of spiritual upbringing, etc. is very very important. So I think these four aspects are very important for the child. And similarly, the success mantra I would say is that even when you grow up as an adult, I think you have to be taking care of all the four things, not just focusing on your career, job, etc. But I think you should take out time for your physical fitness. You should take out time for your, one more passion, hobby, and probably also looking at some time for, some mental health issues, etc. Like by focusing on meditation, spirituality, or whatever, helps you in that direction.
Right.
So I think these four things are very important for holistic development for any human being.
He puts a lot of emphasis on holistic approach.
Yeah.
Even if you're a child, if you're a student, if you are teenage, you're a college going, or you are a professional, right? So I think everybody can include these four things, something which is very very important. We should be keep on learning and sports, and we should have a good hobby, and we should take care of our mental health, जो कि मैं अभी अपनी mental health की take care कर रही हूँ अभी currently, by having this show so happily.
Yeah.
Mr. Pasricha, the best of the newspapers or magazines, loves you. And from there I got the idea. अब वो सारे पूछेंगे, ठीक है, I know you earlier also, But few days back on LinkedIn, when I read on Economic Times, right, on ET, that you are in top, HR thought leaders. So from there I picked you, and there I thought कि sir को बुलाना है 100th episode में. We feel so proud. So how do you feel?
I'm very, very happy, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I was very, very surprised when I started getting some messages that I've been part of that list. So I'm very, very thankful to those people who chose me there and put my name. And let me tell you one thing. Somewhere I feel that this journey of learning and contributing has to continue for long. So as I say, we are sick. So I think you are sick, I'm also sick, and I think sick का तो definition यही है कि you have to keep on learning the whole life.
Right.
And I think learning should never stop. The only thing is that we should keep on learning every day from everybody across. And there are some people in that list which you're talking about, thoughtful leaders whom I've learned a lot from. My peers there, and my even some of my HR gurus who started before me or around me are part of that list. I sometimes pick up the phone and talk to them, and learn a lot from them.
Hybrid model is going on, remote working, work from home, and some people want to sit in office, some people want to be at home. बहुत ज़्यादा changes आए हैं, but whenever we talked earlier, your mind was always super prepared. आप तो वैसे 20 साल आगे चल रहे हो. What do you think are the topmost upcoming HR trends जो हम accept कर लेने चाहिए?
So I think ऐसा नहीं है कि everybody wants work from home, everybody wants remote working. So they say that it's not one size fits all approach right now.
Right.
So I think the HR mantra for today is that you can't come out with one policy and say that this is how it will happen for everybody. I think it's giving them the flexibility is very, very important, right? Though we have same phones with each one of us maybe, but we still would like to give a different kind of color to our icons there, or so I think different shades, different colors we would like to apply to them. So then I would like to maybe choose few which are on the top page of my phone versus the the sliding pages of my phone. So I think your preferences would be for something else. My preference would be something. So similar, same phone is giving us flexibility to choose from, right? So similarly, from HR point of view, also we're trying to keep flexibility at the core. Though we have a similar framework for all to work in, a similar workplace, etc. But there are diverse thoughts, diverse people, diverse needs, because they are at a different stage of career. Some people are young, some people are a little older, some people have young kids, some people have grown-up kids. So how can we give them flexibility to choose from various options?
Right.
So I think that's very important. That's been the approach nowadays by a lot of HR professionals.
Great. So, this is a learning for everybody. This is a learning for startups. This is a learning for small, medium enterprises. This is a learning for the big corporates. I'm also learning the same thing कि सर ने पहले भी बताया है, again told in this show, अभी discuss किया है हमने कि new HR trends are like we need to make customized policies for our employees. We cannot say everybody to come. We cannot say everybody to stay home. And we have to, little bit analyze our employees even better, even in more depth.
Yeah.
So, ये जो पहली बार सुना है ना, मैंने आपसे सुना है कि कस्टमाइज्ड एचआर पॉलिसीज, तो मैंने भी अपनी एचआर को बोल दिया कि ये जो 100 बंदे हैं मेरी टीम में, अभी हम 113 हो गए हैं, तो इनको छोटे छोटे 4-5 सेगमेंट्स में डिवाइड कर दो और इनकी अपनी अपनी पॉलिसी बना दो. So everybody needs to learn that. So what is your message for the audience? I think all type of audiences listening to you today, people from Punjab, people who are staying in different countries and who are Punjabis, and of course, you are a personality, you are a celebrity for everybody, especially who want to be professionally successful. So what is your message for the audience?
To the audience, I would say that besides whatever I've shared about myself and my thoughts, I think one thing that is been taught to us in the especially last 1.5-2 years, is that just focus a lot on your health and well-being. I think that's very, very important, both physical well-being and mental well-being. I think these are two aspects that, if it gets disturbed, then everything in life will get disturbed. So I think health is very, very important. That's come to the forefront now, and that's a clear message for us too from the pandemic. So I think one thing that we all need to focus on is our physical and mental well-being.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for having me on your show, and I'm privileged enough to be on your 100th episode.
Yes.
I think that's been a wonderful experience for me also. Thank you very much.
So this was our 100th episode of the Mandeep Kaur Tangra Show. I'm very glad today we could complete it so successfully with Mr. Sukhjit Singh Pasricha, and we tried to touch the professional angle today ताकि हम ये ना सोचे कि हम कहाँ पे born हुए हैं, कहाँ पे आज के दिन बैठे हैं, but you can always aspire to be somewhere in the corporate world at the top level. So sir की journey बड़ी inspirational है. So I'm happy कि I could have him here today. And my learning, my take from the episode is I'll take care more of my physical and mental health. और हम सब ने ये message अपने साथ जो है रखना है 100th episode में. So thank you so much कि हम सारे मिलके सारे जने मिलके अपना 100 एपिसोड्स इन्हें सक्सेसफुली कंप्लीट कर पाए हैं. सो आई थिंक मैंने भी शाबाश मिलनी चाहिए कि आई हैव बीन सो कंसिस्टेंट. सो कीप वॉचिंग माई शो एवरी फ्राइडे एट 5 PM. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग मनदीप कौर टांगरा शो.